I'm here. Don't panic. It's all going well tonight. So sorry guys, I'm a little bit late tonight because, can you believe it? It's me. Cool. I'm getting it. Don't panic. I'm still here. So today, is that right? I'm 70. It's my birthday. That's right, isn't it? Or is it that way? I think it's that way. Anyway, they're just too big. Somebody said put it through here. But anyway, I'll do that. I'll do that. So we got 7 comments. Yogi, 3 minutes ago. How much do you drink? Funny enough, Yogi, I had water. Yabis, a bit late. Yeah, sorry, Phil, a little bit late tonight. I didn't say I'll be on at 10 o'clock, but you know what it's like when you're eating meals. Oh, Yogi, hey, you're a top man. Glenn, Cheryl, Ian, Bengal Burke's in, Andrew, Phil, Mark, SK, Stay, Glenn. Okay, I think we're up to date now. So we've got 31 in the house. So don't forget, guys. Even though I know I'm late. Julie, well done. Oh, let's get this. It's making me go deaf. So, because unfortunately next Sunday, guys, I won't be here. I can't tell you what I'm doing at the moment, but I won't be here. Des is in, Adrian, Rob, Barry. Anyway, yeah, next Sunday I won't be here, guys. I've got a busy week, but I'll tell you all about that. What we're talking about, probably about the 8th of May. So, yeah, it's all go. It's my birthday. You know what? You always look forward to when you get older, but I have to be honest, 70 is a bit much. Anyway, I've got to thank all my friends who turned up tonight. They gave me a surprise. I was only expecting me, Jan, Mandy, and Steve to be there, but we had Rob, we had Paula, we had Debbie, we had Ange and Pete and their daughter, and not forgetting the Colonel. So that was nice. Oh, thanks, Steve, you made it. So just get on with it. So we're talking only 25 past 10 now, but hey, we're in it. I've just printed off some questions. I'll tell you what I will do. I'm feeling a bit hot. So, Tilly's dad's in as well. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, I've got a question here already. This is from Glenn. And this is, do you see many police about? So, he's obviously on about where I live, on Camposol, or no doubt even in the area of Mazaron. And to be quite honest, yeah, you do. You do. Most weeks you see them you see them driving about, which is good. They don't tend to do like walking about, other than obviously if you're down in the port, you see them walking about. But it's good to see the police presence, isn't it? And on Camposol, they tend to park on the roundabouts, and they do check your license. And some of them I've seen actually check people's boots. What that's all about, I don't know. And if you didn't know, on Camposol A, next to Rendezvous, right in the corner, was a little office, and that used to be the on-site police station. But that was back 20 years ago, and I don't know how long that lasts. But at the moment, that police station's up for sale, and I think you can buy it freehold. And I think it's 90,000. But anyway, Glenn, yeah, we do see the police, and they are about. And usually they're pretty good if you call them out. And I've mentioned it before many times, guys. If you live out in Spain, it's always best to have this app that I'm trying to look for now, which is called Police Alert. Oh, sorry, it's called. I don't know if you can see it there. It's called Alert Cops, and that Alert Cops is run by the Guardia here in Spain. It's an English site. It's free. But it's got quite a few things on there. if you feel like you're being harassed or you're feeling threatened, you can send photographs, you can send a message. Yeah. And also, it's got a tracking device on it because my wife uses it. Because if you know me as well, I like to go out exploring by myself. I've got Steve. He's got me on his phone. He can track me because you never know. There's a possibility. I mean, I go out in the middle of nowhere sometimes, so it's always best. I'm not worried about where people know I am, but I think it's a good idea to have people know you. So Steve can track me, and also my wife Jane can track me, but she uses alert cops. That Steve uses me on the iPhone. Right. So I think so far you're looking good for your age, here, Cheryl. Do you think so? Right. I don't think at the moment fashion police. I don't think at the moment we've got any questions on there, so that's good. My mum turned 70 on the 18th. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, funny enough, where we was tonight was in Piccolo's. There's a few people having birthdays today. So the 27th of April is a good time to be born, I think, depending on what year it is, obviously. So my next question is from Ian. Right, and this is another good question, really. And he was on about we are considering having a property alarm installed after seeing on TikTok anyone can now order a lockpick. Oh, anyone can order a lockpick, which can get into any lock within 10 seconds. So that's what he's on about, because obviously somebody's made a little video on how to pick a lock. Obviously, they shouldn't be allowed to or ordered or promoted. Anyway, Casa Bank can install the alarm for €50 a month, but just wondering if you have any recommendations for an alarm company and the cost, please. Okay, now I've seen quite a few companies. I think it's called Direct Security or something like that. Now, these guys actually cold sell. They actually come around your house, ringing on your bell. Now, here in Spain, they're not allowed to do that. Tradesmen are not allowed to call round, on your gate. They're just not allowed to do that. Obviously, you can contact them on the phone, or if they advertise on Facebook or something like that, you can do it. But actually going around cold selling, they're not allowed to do that. And I've shooed them off a few times because they know they're not allowed to do that. But anyway, me personally, I've had a few people say that other security companies do like a €35 a month. And then as soon as you take out the direct debit, they whack up the price. So it goes from 35 probably at over 50. And I know the bank does it as well. And funny enough, that company I just mentioned, and I think it's called Security Direct. It's the main security company here in Spain. They actually do the bank. Now, our bank's been robbed 3 or 4 times. Obviously, they're going for the cash machine. So that sort of says something straight away. I mean, these security companies are supposed to be watching their television screens and they call the police. Anyway, I think personally, Ian, you'd be better off going on to Amazon and you can get these solar powered security cameras that do 360. Some are pretty, you can zoom in, zoom out. Some do tracking. And some you can speak out. So if somebody's at the gate, you can speak through the security camera. And if they've got a solar panel on as well, you ain't got to worry about putting up electric, things like that. They're obviously all Wi-Fi based. Now there was a company that Steve gave me a name of, and it looks like Effie. So I'll stick out on the screen there. Take note of that company, because one thing about this company, they do obviously security cameras and some have got lights in and that, but they also do a hub, because the other thing of all this is you need to store all the footage. So if you get one of they call it an in-cloud hub, and that will store all the information for you, because you have an SD card, and it's all getting technical now. But I would check out Amazon. They've got loads of security cameras now. if you go down to Leroy Merlin's, they sell them, and I presume, well, Media Mart, I think they sell them as well. But Amazon, you can usually get some good deals. I mean, I personally, Ian, wouldn't, even though somebody's going to say, "Oh, I want one of these security," install it for you. No, and no doubt there are, but I don't know any people that do that personally myself. But I would myself. I mean, I've got a couple of cameras dotted around the property, especially inside, all on the record all the time. And I got a thing on my phone here, and I can view the cameras, and I can spook Bonnie on it, and they don't cost much. And you think if you're paying 50, let's say you was paying €50 a month, that's a lot of money when you add that up through the year. And hopefully, and what Mark's got, that's the cameras that I use, Mark. Very good. So let's have a quick check on here. I've got 40 in the house, so that must mean I've got 40 likes because it's my birthday. I was in Piccolo's as well. Didn't see you there, Mark. Not saying I know what you look like, Mark. And Yogi's saying, "Oh, very nice. Don't look a day over 80. How rude, Yogi." Yeah, that's it, Luke. Secured. I can't pronounce that word. Yeah, as Andrew said, there's no subscription charge, and you know you can check it out all the time. Easy to put in. Yep. So good question, that Ian. Next question is by Mick. Are there any off-road drivable trails for the adventurous in the area? So he's on about off-road tracking. Now you find, obviously, driving about in Spain, there's a lot of off-road tracks. I mean, we're not on about the service roads. They look like off-road tracks sometimes, but I'm on about proper tracks. Now, most you can just drive up them. Now, you will find some places, obviously, farmland, you're going to see a little chain across it. Obviously, you can't cross that. And you've got to keep a lookout as well, because you find, as you're driving around on those sort of campo areas, you see a little triangle sign, not triangle, a square sign, black and white. That means people can hunt there. And usually they hunt on the weekends, really, but on the tracks, there's loads of them. I'm always going off tracks, and you find when you do go on these tracks, sometimes they come to a dead end. Sometimes the road's sort of like that. Obviously, a 4x4 is more advisable. But what I will say is, if you're in a hired car or a normal car and you break down on one of those tracks, the breakdown service will not come out and rescue you. So you're going to have to look for a local farmer that's got a tractor and pull you out. Now, touch wood, every time I've gone down one of these tracks, but I'm just as I'm saying that, I can remember now when I was out with Steve, we went out one day on one of these dirt tracks. Another thing you've got to be aware of here in Spain, when it rains, that the soil is like clay. And what it done, it ripped round the wheels until I got to a stage where I just couldn't drive the car anymore because it just got clogged up with mud. And thankfully, we managed to find a bit of stony area, and we moved on. Whereas we'd have ended up being stuck there until, no doubt, we would have to go and got a farmer. So be aware of that if you are tracking, even in a 4x4, if it's raining, you don't want to go on those tracks. But there are loads about. If you go up around your Spooner, most of the what I call the mountain areas, you find loads of tracks, and it's great. You just go off exploring. Sometimes when you look on Google Maps, some of those tracks will say it's like a road, road marking. So that's easy. But yeah, that was Mick, wasn't it? Yeah. So just be careful, Mick. But I can assure you, there's loads of tracks that you can go off exploring on. Ian, okay, here's a technical one. I've got some. I think I've got some questions there, Mo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read out this last question here. This is from Ian, and this was: how much is health insurance? And are these companies on campus? Are there companies on campus to help you with this? There are a few companies on campus, so um, I'm not too sure about IBEX. There's IBEX insurance on A. I'm not 100% that they do health insurance. I might be wrong. There's another insurance company upstairs on A that I can't, because they changed name. It used to be called Segura or something, and they've changed the name to something else. And I know they do health insurance. And then over on B, there's another one. I think it's called MG Management, and they seem to do loads of stuff. And part of that will be health insurance. But I was talking tonight to Pete. Now Pete's got a non-lucrative visa, and it sounds like if you haven't come to Spain and you're thinking about, obviously you have to have private health insurance for the first year anyway. You have to pay it up front. So that's something I can't really talk about really because I don't know what the cost is. All I can say is that when we come here in 2015, 16, we was paying just over €200 a month for the both of us, and we took out a full policy. You can take out cheaper policies, but I'm right in thinking if you've got a non-lucrative visa, you have to pay the whole year up in advance. And that's all to do with mainly because they don't want you taking out, say for instance, you took out a private health insurance on a monthly basis, you could just cancel it, couldn't you? So that's why they want you to pay up front for the first year. So it'd be interesting if anybody on there um, has got a private health insurance, because I would imagine obviously it's more than €200 a month now. That obviously that was for the both of us. Like I said, also you can take out cheaper policies. Is that advisable? I don't know. I mean, obviously, once you've been here a year, you can apply for the Spanish health system, and I think it's like 60 something a month. Obviously, which is a lot cheaper. That's for sure. So anyway, let's have a quick see. Have you got any questions before I carry on? Where do we get to? Right. Emma, happy birthday. Thank you. Sorry I missed the party. Yeah, well, there's a few parties going on there, Mark, tonight, I must say. We have that company here. It's a scam. That's what Luke's on about. Hi, all. Good evening. Sorry, a bit late. That's no problem because I was a bit late tonight, Pete. Question. Heard the road to Percheles beach was blocked because of flooding. All right. That's a good one, Emma. I haven't been to Percheles Beach for ages. Obviously, now they've cleared it all. They got rid of all the campers now, and you can go back down there and park in the beach on the beach parking area for nothing now. But I didn't know about the flooding because obviously we had some heavy rain about a month ago. So anybody knows he's been down to Percheles Beach recently, stick it up on the comments there. And Steve says there's loads of them. Any happy returns? Thank you, Pete. Great for e-bikes, says Steve. Everyone remember to smash the like button. Top man, Yogi. And oh yeah, did your football team win tonight? I think it was at Liverpool. Is that team? Or was it the Saints, Yogi? Ian, thanks for answering the property security question, but buying an Amazon option won't call the police if someone tries to break in, which is a problem with squatters. That is true, Ian, but I think on the other side of that, if you obviously the people around you, your neighbours will alert the police anyway. But it's true, yeah, it won't call the police, but then you would have the footage. Another thing I forgot to mention, obviously, I wouldn't say it's a major problem. Officially, you're not allowed to have your cameras out facing out in the street. You can only have the cameras facing in the property. Now I actually got a video. I will put it up because it is at somebody's house. They actually had cameras on their terrace, and they were filming the actual guys breaking in. But another thing about those cameras, some of those cameras you can speak into, so that would warn you if you are being broken into, and all you got to say, I'm calling the police. So that's the other side of all this. If you got cameras, it will alert you on your phone app, and then you can speak onto the camera. So it's not obviously worth buying cheap cameras, but best to pay a little bit more and get a decent camera, and you can speak onto the camera to those whoever's breaking in. Obviously, they're not any noise will put them off. So yeah, but yeah, thanks for that, Ian. Right, I think I've caught up now. It used to be covered by the NHS. What's the main difference between private and state health insurance? There's SKSK. Uh, well, obviously, if you got the state health insurance, the state health insurance. Okay, well, it's just like the Spanish health, like the NHS, really, because you're on the S1, which is paid by the NHS for us old pensioners. Um, I would say the state health insurance is no different to the main Spanish health system, if you get what I mean. Whereas private health, as you probably well know, with private health insurance, be whatever it is, car insurance, health insurance, there's always clauses in there about, especially when you have an operation, and then them to find out you're having this operation, your private health insurance company will contact you and say, "Oh, sorry, by the way, you're not covered for that," but it's too late. You're already paying for that operation. That I've had a few times from some people where they've had to pay the money up front and then try to get the money back off the private health insurance. That is another fine. But unfortunately, now you have to have private health insurance when you move to Spain, especially on a non-lucrative. But if you can get onto obviously the Spanish health system, then that's a little bit different. Obviously, the main things about private and the state is obviously private. You're supposed to get it instantly, whereas obviously the state, it's a bit like in the UK. You do have to wait, and obviously speaking to people around the different regions, each region's different. Now, thankfully, here in Murcia, when I had my hip done, I had it done within 6 months. I was speaking to Chris and Lillian, who live in sort of the Valencia region, and they were virtually told you'd be better off getting it done privately. So that's another thing about if you're thinking about moving to Spain, you need to check out if you can, if it's possible, to find out which is the best region to move to for health, because obviously some places will say that theirs is better than others. Does it mean you can be seen quicker? Yeah, I mean that's what we're getting back to there. I was just reading it now, SK. Yeah, obviously, if you got it on private, you virtually can get it sorted out straight away. Whereas obviously on the state, you're in the queue. Even though I was when I had my hip done, even though it was on the state, I had it done privately, and it was paid by the state. So it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Yes, Yogi said, "Oh, it's Liverpool." And did they win, Yogi? That's the main question. Right. Okay. Nice to catch you live. Love your show. Maybe in 5 years I will rent first and buy later, says Craig. Well done. Well, what I'm going to do now, because it's obviously getting on a bit, it's quarter to, quarter to, I'm trying to find, it's quarter to 11. Right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use Yogi's lucky hat, and we're going to do the magnet, because last Sunday I was doing magnets, and that was the free Magnet Sunday magnet. That I've just noticed I've got two on there. You're not getting two, you're only getting one. So I'll put that one there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do the pick for the magnet, and then I've got another one because that's for today, which is the free sticker Sunday. But at the moment, it's the free magnet. Well, I'm going to find the drum roll. Okay, here we go. There's somebody in there. I got one. Got one. Got one. So who is it? There it is. I'll put it up first so you lot can see it first. And that is Rob Norris. Has he had it before? I don't think so. Rob Norris, you're top man. You won the free magnet. All I need now, Rob, is your real name. If that is your real name, most people seem to be using their real names on here. And obviously your address. And most people contact me through, just stick it there to keep a reminder, through my Instagram account, which is Expat Mazron, and you can private message me on there. Don't put it on there or put it below in the video because you get spammed to death. Or you can contact me on Messenger, or actually you can contact me on YouTube. You go onto the About page, there's an email there. So Rob Norris, you got a free magnet, which will be in the post. Now, when I spoke this morning, I saw Dave, Vodka Dave, and he forgot to contact me in the week, but he's contacted me now. So Vodka Dave, and that wasn't his real name, obviously. And like I said, that'll be posted to you probably tomorrow, rest of the week, because I'm a busy man. So that's done now. I'll just put that over there so it's organised. Right. So where do we get to? Let's go back to the questions. I think I've got 17 new ones. Okay, Craig, we read that one. Just travelling back from Liverpool now. Well done, Yogi. Hope it's a good match. If you send the camera footage, you can send it to the Guardian with Lurker Cops. Well, there you are. See, that's another thing to get the buggers out. I mean, what I've been told now with the squatters, I don't know if it's true, that the Spanish government have put a new rule in now for the regions, because as I said before, with each region, they're like their own little governments. And apparently Murcia and Almeria are quite soft on squatters. But as long as you're an owner of a property, you can virtually get them out with the police, obviously. The police will need to know who the owner is, and they can usually get them out within 48 hours. If they've got a kid, that becomes a little bit of a problem. But if it's the owner and they do it straight away, they can get them out straight away. And now they've been told now they can cut off the water and the electric, whereas before they weren't allowed to do that. But I don't know if the regions are carrying that order out. But that's something new that's been passed through, the government. But I haven't heard anything about that actually happening. But that's another. I mean, they're trying to make it a little bit more difficult for the squatters. But as long as you're an owner, you've got a good chance of getting them out. Right, here we go. Has anyone tried using Starlink? Peter, you're the man. Funny enough, every time I get every time my internet goes down, because I'm with Wi-Fi, CompuServe, I keep saying that's it. I've had enough. Now, obviously, everybody tells me that broadband or fibre is the best to have, best option. Now we've got one across the road, but because they haven't bothered to put a cable down our street, I can't be connected unless I pay for it all, and they won't give me a price. So Starlink has been my next option. I'm just a little bit worried at the moment with Starlink because it's that Mr. Musk guy, and obviously he's going through a bit of a bad patch of his Tesla cars, Tesla, whatever you want to call them, Tesla. But I wouldn't have said that. I suppose that's anyway. All I'm worried about, I've got a router up to the top. I've got a router down there. Will that affect me? I don't know. I don't know anybody personally that's got Starlink. Well, I can go around and have a nose at theirs. I mean, I've had a lot of people that contact me. They've got Starlink and they say it's amazing and it works fine. But I'd love to speak to somebody and see it for myself. I'm one of those people that likes to see it myself and not just hear it, say on here, it's fantastic. And then when I get it, I've got a problem. But if I know somebody's got it, they can probably help me out a bit. So, Peter, no need. You don't live in Camposol. Can you get different energy suppliers for better deals? Or are you limited to one, says Andrew? Now, apparently you can I've noticed quite a few of these online companies that will find you a cheaper deal. Are they any good? I don't know. I don't know anybody personally who's got. I mean, obviously, Umbrella seems to be the main one in this area, and I've heard a few comments about if they change to a cheaper one, only to find out that cheaper company's gone bust or something. Trying to get reconnected is a bit of a nightmare, and I know reconnection can cost you a lot of money. So be very careful when you're checking out these cheaper options because it could cost you a lot more money in the end. So yet again, I suppose it's all about, if you've got a friend down the road that's done that, it's got a cheaper thing, and he's been with them 3 or 4 years, then yeah, that's a good idea. Get a recommendation, but I don't know anybody personally that's found any cheap. What I've found with Umbrella, you do have to go down to the office. Don't do it online. Go down to the office. Some of them speak pretty good English, some don't. If they don't speak good English, then take a good translator with you and make sure you get the best deal. Because that's what we done. We been with ours for years. We noticed it was a little bit high, so we changed it. And the lady said we got the cheapest deal, only to find out we had two tariffs on ours, and we was paying through the roof nearly. So we changed it again last year. She did say come back every year, see if they got any cheaper deals. But I think at the moment we got one of the cheapest deals. Don't ask me what the kilowatt, whatever it is, because I'm not into all that stuff. But we're just sticking to what we've got. And I know a lot of people, especially holiday owners, who pay sometimes €40 a month and they're not using nothing. And I know you got standing charges, but to have nothing on, that's a lot of money, I think. Where I know some people are paying that, and they're living there 24/7. So something not right. But you do have to go and sort it out yourselves. Don't just leave it or phone up on the phone because they won't sort it. You've got to go down to the office and get it sorted. Right. So that was Andrew. Ian, thanks. I've just tried to set up alert cops on my UK phone and it wouldn't let me. Yeah. Obviously, you can't do it on a UK number. You're going to have to do it on a Spanish number. But next time you're out in Spain, yeah, I mean, obviously, get yourself another cheapo phone. Just get a Spanish number. But Don't get a too cheapo phone because some of those cheapo phones don't have app settings on them. Because my wife's got one of those cheap phones where she can see big letters for the keypad, but no screen for apps and that. But yeah, obviously it's not going to work on a UK line because it's run by the Guardian. And it says you can phone up and you get an English speaker. Sometimes you don't always get an English speaker straight away, but I suppose it all depends on who's duty at the night. But they will get back to you and they will call out a cop car if needed. But what's good about that app, you can take photographs. I'm not too sure about video footage, but I know you can take photographs and you can write down. So yeah, and the best thing, it's free. Right. Congratulates Rob. You free magnet, congrats. Does that mean Rob's on here? Steve says, no, you're not Rob Norris. Good one. How friendly is it to travel in Spain towing a caravan, says Peter. I would imagine that's the same in any country, isn't it, with caravans? Because it's like when you stop behind a caravan and you want to overtake. And I know it's not easy for us caravan people. I would say it's no different to any country, really. I mean, you can pull over and park up. I've seen a lot of caravans do that, parking lay-bys. I can't say personally I know I know any lay-bys about where you could park up a caravan. I mean, to me personally, I would rather go onto a caravan, a a camping site where you got all the stuff. You got the Wi-Fi, you got the toilets, you got the nice hot showers. But I know, I don't know. Would you do it in a camper? I mean, a caravan. I mean, a caravan's different. A caravan, you just park up anywhere and you can stay overnight, no problem. Caravan, I'm not really sure. I mean, you don't tend to see a lot of caravans about here in Spain for some reason. Um, but Peter, give it a go. Let me know how you get on. Right, so Yibis is talking about his cameras. Right, in Torrevieja we have 300 fibre, €10 a month, which is pretty. That's a good deal, isn't it? Free installation, no contract to cancel after 3 months. Now that's a good deal. I wish I could say that the same here. Right, so what I'm going to do now, because it's getting on a bit, I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over 11 o'clock because I did come on a bit later tonight. So I thought what I'll do now, I'll do today's people that got it correct, because today's Sunday was Free Sticker Sunday, and that was up for grabs. And I had, which I was pretty amazed, I had 30 of you right. Some of you put Free Magnet Sunday, so they got chucked off. Some put Free Magnet, Free Sticker, they got chucked off as well. See, trying to get crafty. So I'm going to do the next. This ain't Yogi's app. See, this is my app. This is the Lucky Sean's app. This one. So I'm going to do the quick drum roll. Here we go. Oh, got one. I've got one. And just to prove it, they're all in there. You know, I've got one. Just in case you think I've only got one in there. Here we go. It'll be funny if it's Rob Norris again. Now it's got Jim. Is that Jim? Is that Jim Smith? Can't read that. No, yeah, it's Jim Smith. Jim Smith. Jim Smith, you're on it, mate. Jim Smith's got the Free Sticker Sunday. I don't think I've seen Jim Smith on tonight as well. So Jim Smith, if you're watching, you're top man. You got the free sticker. All I need now is your real name. If it is John Smith, that Jim Smith, you're top man. But I also need your home address, and you can contact me on Instagram. You can private message me on there, or you can message me on Messenger, or you can contact me on YouTube. On the About page, there is an email. You can contact me there, and it will be in the post this week. So well done, Jim. You're a top man. I'll just put up there again just in case you didn't see it. Jim, yeah, there it is. You won the free sticker. So, but as I said, next Sunday, guys, I won't be on. I'm busy. But I'll let you know what all that's about the following week. So let's go back to the comments. We got 33 in the house, top people. I see it's getting late now. The people's knocking off a little bit now. They're getting a bit tired. Right. Okay. Bengal Bert's in. Congratulations, Jim. Well done, Jim. Fly Boy's in. Evening, Sean. Hope you've had a good weekend. I certainly have. Right. Here we go. Yobby says, how do you stop the cat's mess in the garden? Get a dog. That's my best bet. Get a dog, because my dog Bonnie, outside when she's walking the streets, obviously with me, she won't bat an eyelid with a cat. But if that cat comes in the garden, that's a different thing. Bonnie's straight on it. They're straight out the garden. But I did it. Electric fence. I did hear about this orange peel thing. I don't know if that works, because the problem with orange peels is obviously in the heat they're just going to dry up, aren't they? And I did hear about vinegar. I think bleach is a bit strong, isn't it? I think it's a bit dangerous, that. Yeah, but throwing slippers, yeah, that's another good consideration. Throwing slippers, but I would say another electric fence. I think that's going a bit over the top there, isn't it? But I think maybe borrow your neighbour's dog. But I'll be honest, even though we got Bonnie in the garden. Obviously, when Bonnie's not in the garden, she's up having a kip. The cats do still come in, unfortunately. And yeah, there's a lot of cats about. On Camposol, where we are, we got, they call them cat stations, where people will feed them. Now, another thing I did hear in Spain is if you start feeding the cats, you then become liable to look after them. So, so I know it's difficult when you see those little sad eyes looking at you, but if you start feeding them, they then become your responsibility. But I know there are quite a few what we call cat protection people that go about because obviously what they're trying to do is stop them breeding like wild things, isn't it? So what they tend to do, they capture the cats, they take them to the vets, and they what they do if it's got a chunk taken out of its ear, or they take like a clip out of the ear. That means it's been neutered. So hopefully that cuts down the population. But unfortunately, some people just they get a pussy cat, they don't neuter it, and then the next thing you got 50 cats in that area. And some people say, "Oh, it's to keep the mice down." Well, I hate to say this, but they don't tend to go for the rats. But anyway, I know a few people, cat lovers. So yibbers, I'll be careful with electric fences. How does being 70 compared to 60? I'll tell you one thing. I wasn't looking forward to today. I have to be honest. I want to thank everybody that turned up tonight for my little meal tonight. That was most. It put a smile to my face. But I'll be honest. When you look at 70, you're looking at 80. I don't want to be 80. I don't really want to be 70. But I don't got much choice really. As you get older, you get older. But I can safely say, if you're 60, make the most of it. Martin, you made it, Martin. You didn't make it this morning, did you? You didn't get that. You didn't get that. Yeah, Susan's got a good one. A water pistol. Yes, one of those big, super duper ones. It's got a long range on it. Thank you, Susan. Most appreciated. Okay, how are we doing now? We've obviously gone past 11, which is all right. We've got 30 in the house still. I'll keep going. Right. So we did the private hospital. Tim. Okay, this is when I get quite a lot from people because obviously they want to rent. So Tim's asking any properties to rent on Camposol as we are in the process of selling our house, which should happen on May 27th. We are over here with our small dog and cat. We would like somewhere with a pool. Obviously, another thing you got to think about, Tim, you're coming into the summer season. There's a lot of holiday makers here at the moment. So you're going to find things a little bit different. If you haven't booked up nothing at the moment, you're going to find things that get more and more harder because a lot of people are already pre-booking for the summer season, which is just kicking in now because today's temperatures was 23. Yesterday it was 27. So yes, we're getting near that time where we have to flick the switch for the summertime. So all I can suggest, because I would imagine you're talking about a short-term rental, which may be a little bit more easy than the long-term rental, unless that's what you're looking at. Maybe if you're looking for a long-term rental, that's going to be harder to find because then all I can say is there's loads of Airbnbs on Camposol or in the surrounding areas. There's loads of them, so you can probably find some good deals there because obviously they're all going to be competing with each other. There's Otherworld Properties. Now they don't actually do them. They got like a park company that do the rentals, but there'll be a link. I'll assume if you go onto Otherworld Properties, there'll be a link to the rental side of it. Now I don't know anybody else that's doing it other than I met a guy called Adrian. But I would say they're more to do with. I must just stick that there. They're more to do with holiday homes. So just make a note of that, Murcia holiday homes. But I would say that they're more into doing short term. But it's always worth giving them a bell or send them an email. But I would say Airbnbs, because I can't believe how many there are in this whole area. You've got a huge choice, from apartments to villas. So, what I would say, Ian, Tim, is good luck. Because you might have left it a little bit late, unfortunately. Because I know when we booked our villa, we had to book ours sort of in advance. And that was probably about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months in advance. And that was early of the year. I mean, we rented from, December, thinking about it. We've done from December to the end of February. But thankfully, we found a place and we was out by February. So, yeah, good luck, Tim. Unless somebody else can make a suggestion there. Right. I'll just have a quick check on here. Pepper, I can see we're going back to the cat thing here. Ian saying there about other real properties. Happy birthday, Sean. I'm 6 months behind you. Take it easy, John, because it soon shoots by those 6 months. That's it, the water bazooka pistol gun. So you can get those on Amazon or any big retail store like Carrefour, and I've seen them do it. Okay, we got Bex here now. Is coming today, and I presume it's a she. Could be a bloke thinking about it. Do your own garden, because she noticed the palm when I took the photograph today. We got these. I don't know what you call them. They're not like tall palm trees. They're sort of bushy palms. And I forgot to ask the wife because she's in charge of that sort of stuff. I have nothing to do with the garden. I like sitting there and loving it. But when the garden needs sorting out, yeah, we do have a guy comes in to do the garden because especially this year, when they just, I can't believe it. We don't even water the stuff, and they're just growing wild, and you have to get control of it and cut them down. But those palms, I think, am I right in thinking we paid €50 a palm? So, but the reason why we do have a person doing that is because those palms, you can't see it from a distance, but close up, they're like blooming, they're like nails. They're really sharp things come out, and honestly, if they go through your skin pretty easy. The worst thing is obviously if you ain't got no. I've got goggles. You can imagine that wet in your eye, and I've known animals and humans getting those things stuck in their eye. So yeah, we usually get a gardener in so he can risk his life by hacking them away. And they need to be done properly. And usually, what they tend to have is like a miniature chainsaw because they're quite hard to cut. You can't just pair of snippers. Yeah, I think I'm right in thinking they would cost us €50 a palm. Now that could differ, obviously, with garden people. Um, so yeah, we have garden. So we got a pool man and we have a gardener, but we don't have it on a regular basis. The pool man's obviously regular. We have him coming every week, but the gardener comes in when we need it. But I know some people do have like a weekly or a yearly gardener that comes in and they go around with it. I understand the Hoover thing, to blow the leaves from one end to the other. But yeah, the vegetation does seem to grow here quite quickly, and it can get out of hand, especially if you're not on check of it. Right. So, looking at that, Bex, you was the last question. Unless I got another question here. Oh, she's there. I am female. See, look. Yeah, well done, Bex. Well done. So I've just got you there. Brave God. Yeah, that's all right. No problem. Right. So I think I've caught up everybody. So what I'm going to say now is I'm going to say adios amigo. So like I said before, guys, don't forget the likes. I didn't say that, but I won't be here next Sunday. I won't be doing the free sticker thing. I'm busy. I'll tell you all about it the following week. So I'm just going to say thank you much for popping in. Don't forget, I'll just prove it, unfortunately. But it happens when you get older, you get to that age, and I'm just trying to get them now. So unfortunately, I've made it to the big. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, so I've gone to it. So I've made it. Is that right? Is it that way? No, that way, isn't it? Yeah, so I made it to that big figure now, 70. Anyway, I want to thank everybody's come in tonight. Well done. I was late tonight, unfortunately. Only an hour and 15, really. But I made it. That's the main thing. And yeah, so adios, amigos. I'll catch you soon. If you've got any questions, add them below. Fantastic if you could. And I'll catch you in a couple of weeks' time. Adios, amigos.